What's up, everybody? We are
Bad Marriage.
And don't forget
to rock!
Hey, this is Jen, and I am very excited to be joined by Bad Marriage. Hey guys.
How are you?
What's going on? Jen?
I think you guys are one of the bands at the forefront of the new wave of classic rock movement. Do you guys know all about this
We were
group?
just talking about that.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Personally, I mean, I like the idea of having a group per se to get the names of new bands out there, but I think the name itself kind of just leaves a little funny mark on me personally, because we're a new band, so we're not classic rock. I mean, I get it's a classification of music, but I mean, we're just rock and roll. We're certainly not new wave. I mean, that's Devo, if you ask me. But as far as getting the name of new bands out there, it's great. But to me, it's rock and roll. Let's just call it rock and roll. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a good community, and like you said, it's a great way to discover some awesome bands. I've come across so many good bands.
I like the fact that rock is even in the conversation of the mainstream now, where it was kind of tucked away for a little bit, and then the fact that it's even being sub-genreized, if that's even a word, is cool, because it can only help new aspiring rock and roll bands like us. So
yeah, and I think it's also sticking it to corporate or mainstream radio, who kind of want to brainwash the young people thinking rock is dead. Or
right?
True,
whatever.
absolutely. Yeah. And that brings another subject of classification. The post-MTV, everything has got to be genrefied. Classic rock is basically a default for music that really can't be classified. So if you think about it, it's good because it's this open-hearted, sort of open-minded, hey, it's just great music, and it's the new wave of great music. So welcome to it.
Right? Yeah, we got to embrace it.
I just found out about it a couple weeks ago. I had to I had to read it again because, like Todd said, it comes off. It's actually a movement, and there's a lot of bands of all different, styles of rock and roll, generally trying to bring back something that they loved either as a kid growing up like we did or younger bands. But going back a few years to when this band started, these two guys right here were writing Old School Stereo, which is one of our songs that we made a video for, and the chorus line basically sums it up in that song. And I thought of it back then, I didn't call it the new wave of whatever, classic rock, but it's, turn up the new school music on the old school stereo,
right.
Meaning that these bands are in the vein of classic rock acts. Like I was watching this kid from the Struts the other day that he reminds me of Freddie Mercury.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, you know what I mean? The kids from Greta Van Fleet, they sound like Led Zeppelin. Fucking great. Like, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna hop on people about that, it's like, hey, listen, as long as kids are picking up the guitars and making rock and roll, it ain't gonna die.
Right.
So everybody should be thumbs up for that.
And people going to see those shows, I mean, that's what it's about. People getting to relate, people on stage, people off stage, having that communication. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we shouldn't be dogging any bands. If you're a fan of rock and roll and you see, you don't have to like the band, but they're waving your banner. They're waving the Skull and Crossbones. Captain Keith and Uncle Lemmy are at the helm. Like, here we go.
Yeah, I think the UK is doing a great job of carrying on rock music. And
I think they always have.
yeah,
It's like, that's all we
so
hear.
many of the classic bands come from.
I mean, that's all we hear constantly is you guys. Bad Marriage would be, amazing overseas in the UK.
I'm going to ask it because I know you guys have a following in the UK. Do you guys have any plans on going there?
Well, the following, it's funny because we haven't got a chance to get there yet, which we'd love to. But we had a couple features in the Classic Rock magazine in 2017, and we were in 2 different issues, and it was really cool because there was we had a huge barrage of emails and private messages and
New fans.
yeah, of course, saying, hey,
Yeah.
you guys we're on this CD in this magazine that I get every month. You are the best, you are my favorite song on the CD, or I love your band. When are you coming to the UK? And we got dozens of those, and that was pretty pretty exciting for us. Even though we haven't been able to land over there yet, we hope to very soon.
That's exciting for me because half of my family actually lives in England.
Oh, okay.
And it's if you look at how rock and roll goes back and forth, all the bands, like the Beatles wanted to come over here because of the blues, you know what I mean? And it's always bounced back and forth. So when I saw that we were bouncing pretty hard in the UK, I was like, yeah, that's how, you know, that's good news, because all great bands from America usually bounce hard in the UK and vice versa. It's just how it is.
Right.
And it bounces from there, you know, from the UK into further into Europe. You know, you look at the Rival Sons, their latest tour. They're in Europe. They're not coming to the States because it's just this rabid following. Whether it be festivals or headlining shows, that's where they found their niche, and that's, you know, it's very alive. It's a growth. It's huge.
Right.
Yeah, they're an awesome band too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I want to talk about your new song, Sorry Don't Feed the Bulldog. And listening to lyrics, does it tell a story about a boy, or what's the inspiration behind the song?
Well, Sorry Don't Feed the Bulldog started out as, for me, a phrase that my father used to say to me. It's a military term, which I didn't realize at the time, but you know, when I would screw up and my dad was upset, he'd say, hey, thanks for the apology, but sorry don't feed the bulldog. So that stuck with me, and I really like the phrase, so I'm constantly in communication with Fitzy, whether he likes it or not.
That's right.
Whether it be random phone calls at 6 in the morning, I don't like that face right there.
What face?
Whatever,
I'm not making any face.
You know, semaphores, smoke signals.
Johnny's internal rock and roll clock is always going, so
it's non-stop. It's maddening.
We feel the wrath.
Constantly. So, for no reason other than that the phrase was in my head, one day when we wrote the song together, I actually messaged the phrase, sorry don't feed the bulldog, to Fitzy, and he almost instantly responded to me saying, hey, that's really cool, I like that. In fact, I just wrote something musically, which I think might go with that. And I was like, well, let's hear it. So he sent it to me. Sent me this song that he had apparently written minutes before.
Yeah.
All I could figure out was we wrote it at the same time.
Right.
And he also said, hey, what about the second line, which is, he's bound to break these chains. So it was sorry don't feed the bulldog, he's bound to break these chains. And I thought that was awesome. I love it. Let's hear the song. So I played the song. Long story short, 7 minutes later, after hearing the music that he sent me, the song was done. It was
well
like
on its way.
So
Right.
It was a quick process, and the lyrics are good.
No.
Well, the lyrics were they came out of nowhere. It wasn't from my own personal experience. It was just a cool story I thought about. It's about a voluntary isolation of basically someone saying, hey, you know what? Can't handle the situation I'm in right now. I'm going to take a leave of absence, permanent leave of absence, and I'm pretty much done. You know, your words mean nothing. I'm out of here. So I thought that was a really cool storyline, and it ended up working out beautifully.
Yeah.
And we just love this song. It's just, the energy is so tense, and it goes perfectly with the lyrics, you know.
And I'll just add, when I do remember Johnny saying, hey, you know, I have this cool phrase that my dad used to say to me, sorry don't feed the bulldog, or sorry doesn't feed the bulldog, and you know, whatever it was, and I said, there's something very cool about that, but what does it mean, John? You know, and that's when he said, you know, hey, when I scratched the new piece of furniture, or I didn't come home on time, I'd say, sorry, Dad, and he would say, sorry doesn't feed the bulldog. Like, that's not going to bring any food to the table, or that's not going to get the scratch off the... Yeah, that's not going to fix the scratch on my car, so I'm like, oh, there's something there, and I just happened to have a piece of music that fit to it, and it just kind of all just fell into place. And these guys, I mean, we bring the ideas in here, and it just kind of... it's just a very smooth process usually, so that's basically it. You know, we're proud of that song. We just put it out. It'll be on the new record coming out soon, so yeah, it's a good one.
It's the new classic wave of lingo. Right? That's what you just heard. So
all the kids will be saying it now.
I want to see all the kids saying that.
That's a really catchy phrase and catchy song.
And it's different
Thank
too.
you.
You know, it's I'm all about for clever and different phrases. You know.
And I Googled it. I'm like, somebody's already done it. Nope, no one's done it. No one's done it.
Wow.
No, it's unique.
So it's meant to be.
Sure. Well, sure. That's why we're talking about it now.
Yeah. And I see you guys are planning to do a music video for the song as well?
Not this one. Well, we don't have plans to do this one. We just finished one though, for a new track that will be on the album as well. And we shot it actually last weekend. At a place called Red 13 Studios, which we did our other two videos to. So you know, they're great. It's a great company, and yeah, that video is going to be awesome. The song is called Diablo. So yeah, we're all excited about that one too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we.
And I really love your cover of Honeybee, the Tom Petty song.
Thank you.
Whose idea was to cover it?
Yeah, well, I gotta give that one to my stepfather, and it was about 2 years ago. We just randomly, I don't see him that often, so we randomly play music for each other, and he brought that song up, and I'm like, I forgot about how awesome that song is, because I had that record, the Wildflowers record, and I love the guitar riff in it. And I said, God, if we speed this up a little bit, you know, this is totally Bad Marriage. I think we can you know, really put our own spin on it, and while paying homage to Tom Petty, who was alive at the time. It had nothing to do with his death, you know, but which is obviously unfortunate. But you know, we thought we did you know, a pretty good rendition of it, and people seem to love it. So,
Yeah.
That's right. I love seeing on the thread on Facebook there when people point out, they're like, hey, wait a second, this is a Tom Petty song, and sometimes they're like, they think we're trying to pull a fast one on them.
Yeah.
And that's cool because we are trying to pull a fast one. But here's the funny thing, it's like, yeah, that's good, you figured it out. I mean, come on, it's Tom Petty.
Right.
The guy's legendary. I mean, the guy writes some of the most catchiest hooks on the planet, and when I showed my mom that song, the video for the first time, which I don't talk too much shop with her, but she goes, hey, that's my favorite song off the Wildflowers album. And I told Fitzy, and I was like, yeah, you know, I heard about Tom Petty from my mother, so
Wow.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's a cover, but not a cover, because we have such a departure from the original. Not necessarily the intent of it, but the actual melody is totally different.
the vocal melody, yeah.
You know, Fitzy threw it at me, and I was like, oh God, you know, my overthinking brain was like, oh, I can't do the Petty, because I have a different range. I don't sing like Tom Petty. I'd love to, because his voice is just, the girth is just magnificent, but it wasn't my style, so I'm like, I can't do it, Fitzy. It's like, dude, in all caps, he's like, this is not going to be a Tom Petty song, this is going to be a Bad Marriage song. I'm like, oh, okay. So I figured it out, and I swerved it around in my brain, threw a couple ice cubes in and drank it down, and there you
Yeah,
have
and
it.
the thing
voila.
is, most of Tom Petty stuff is simple, but if you're a Tom Petty fan like we are, and I know many of the people watching this probably are too, his band is second to none.
Unbelievable.
They kick some serious ass, so even the simple stuff, you know, we did it our own way, but trying to keep it in the vein with musicians of that caliber is, you know.
Right, and it's a hard act to follow. Anytime you're trying to, you know, do your own version of a legendary song or band or both, it's not easy to do, and it takes a lot of, you know, what to do it.
Correct.
So, you know, we embrace that kind of stuff too. You know what I mean? It's like we know who we are and what we can do. So it's just fun for us now, you know, and we know we'll be able to deliver, or else, you know, we're our own worst critics. I mean, if it wasn't up to our standards, we're not gonna put it out until either it is or we just move on from that idea. But again, we were all happy with the way it came out. I mean, happy enough that we did a video for it, you know. So yeah, that's how that one worked out.
Yeah, I think the response to it was positive. You know, you respected the song, but you put your own fresh spin on it.
Right.
So.
Well, that's the thing. If all these new classic wave of rock and roll bands got to understand, all bands coming up, all the bands that they're trying to, you know, pay homage to or whatever, however they're doing it. When you look back at their set list, it was 2 or 3 cover songs every single set.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, it became uncool playing covers, but that's how you learn how to play in a band generally, is you pick up with friends, hey, instead of writing a song where you usually learn, hey, do you know that Nirvana song?
Oh yeah, and that's
You
how
know,
you
you get your chops.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to learn your instrument, is learn how someone else is playing their instrument. It can send your mind off in directions. I know that.
Yeah, and I love hearing other bands myself doing covers of songs that I like.
Yeah, to hear their take on it and stuff was cool.
The response was largely positive, but with anything, like doing a Tom Petty song,
Yeah.
there's gonna be people
I'm sure.
who just...
The purists that are gonna
Yeah.
just go, it's not as good as the original,
Yeah.
or how dare you. And,
It's not even so much they don't like your song, it's that they don't like that you did a Tom Petty
Right.
Exactly.
That's really what it is.
But I like that negative stuff. I mean, they actually had to hate it so much that they had to take time out of their day to
Yeah.
post to us how bad they hated it. And just because they did that, it branched out into more people,
Right.
you know, through social networking.
It's
Gave
a
you an extra
win-win.
view, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
You're talking-
if you hate us, thank you for talking to us.
Yeah, you're talking to 5 critics. Believe me, we are as rough as anybody on music when we're talking between us.
Precisely. I was just reading where Fitz and I have been knee deep in, actually me neck deep in Deep Purple recently, and I was just looking up, old live videos of Deep Purple, and I happened upon the original. It had to be 66 or 67. Hush, which is Deep Purple Mark I. Which is actually a cover. I didn't realize it was a cover. Shame on me.
Right.
And I saw underneath this questionable video. What they really didn't know what the heck they were doing back then in the late '60s. But the song's amazing, and I just absolutely love the song. Turns out it's a cover. It was written by Joe South. And down in the comments, literally the first comment I saw, this version compares like shit to the Joe South version. I'm like, you're talking about the seminal heavy metal band of the ages, and you're dissing them and saying that the original version is better. And God bless you for saying that, because that's your opinion. We love your opinion. I personally like the Deep Purple version better, but still, it's always going to be there. The critics are always going to be there. We love the critics.
Yeah, if you're not getting critics, then you're not doing it right. You
Correct.
should always have critics. Always. They're not the enemy.
I guess it helps you keep pushing to get better, or
Yeah, either that or some people use it as a fuel source. I don't take offense to like when I hear that stuff. It's like because I know how hard I am on bands. You know what I mean? But I just don't say it in public because I know there's fans of bands that'll get fired up and that kind of shit.
start a Twitter war.
Yeah, no need for that. There's enough of that on there.
At the end of the day, it's all about just preference of what you like.
Yeah, but opinions, yeah, exactly. Like we never want to if you don't like something, opinions are fine. Throw it up there. Just do it in a tasteful manner and don't attack each other, and that's
At least you listened,
Exactly.
But anyway, the Honeybee song was cool.
That's the next one.
Next.
Well, if I were to spin it and ask you, what band would you like to cover Bad Marriage? Who would you choose?
Oh, man.
And what song?
Jeez, that's a good one.
That is a good question.
I would like to hear somebody do one of our favorite songs, and I think it was our first big one that we wrote, and it kind of solidified us to thinking that, or knowing that, wow, we have something here. You know what I mean? When we first started riffing on "Knock 3 More Times," it's one of our songs, and it just goes over well. It's just a hard-hitting heavy metal / rock and roll groove.
I know the answer to the question.
Who would do that song, Josh?
Rival Sons would
Yep.
destroy that song.
No, I'm going even bigger.
Oh,
Uncle Jimmy and his band, Led Zeppelin, would cover that song. And
Led
they
who?
would- Led who? Exactly. They
right.
would
I
bring it along.
think she means bands that are still around.
No, this is a theoretical question.
So if it's theoretical, fine.
No, you're not giving. Hey, listen. We're not giving bones to the kids coming up. I'm giving bones to the big dogs.
Right.
Because you don't feed the bulldog, you feed the big dog.
See what he did there?
No.
No. No.
I think Aerosmith doing anything that we have done would be a dream come true. I mean, they're Boston's, arguably America's, one of the biggest rock bands. So and we love those guys. And
I
would like
wrote
to hear-
songs about dogs
cover
too.
them.
Like yeah, Green Day. Green Day do Tail Chasing.
yeah,
would be
I was
one
going to
of
say
the-
Temptation with GNR.
It would have to be a duet though, because Billy Joe doesn't get those notes.
Nope, you can just go step down. Whatever you gotta do. What's
Yeah.
the terminology?
He'd take care of it. He'd figure it out. I'm
He'd know
pretty
what to
sure.
do.
Yeah.
The kids gotta earn that. The kids are not earning cover. You don't just cover somebody nowadays. Like I would never go cover Greta Van Fleet nowadays because it's just not that I don't like them. Fact of the matter is that you don't feed the bulldog. You feed the big dog.
That's right. That's right.
You guys don't get that?
We have been covered.
Not yet.
Whatever. We'll try to make a point with you. This is why playing a rock and roll band's hard. You try to make a point, it doesn't make sense. Ever.
Just see when the cameras are off.
Well, I know you guys are inspired by, AC/DC, Aerosmith.
There's too many to name, but
Well, a lot of these bands, not the ones I mentioned, but a lot of them are going on their farewell tours.
Right.
Have you caught any recent bands lately? or?
Who was on their farewell? Oh, Motley Crue did their farewell, didn't they?
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Right.
You got Ozzy on his No More
Ozzy,
Tours
yeah,
2.
yeah.
Let's see if it sticks this time.
Yeah, I didn't catch the Aussie one, but I would have liked to go on. But I've been to so many Oz fests in my day, you know what I mean, that I've seen him plenty of times, and he's awesome.
Fleetwood Mac's on there, which is really interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Since
the
right before
lineup
they,
change.
Right
Version
before they left
7.
the tour, they swapped out the guitar players.
Right, right.
I know a lot of people weren't happy about that.
No,
It's not really
including me.
Fleetwood Mac.
But speaking of Tom Petty, it's isn't it Mike Campbell? Isn't he the one that's filling in? Or
Isn't Nick Finn in that as
Yes,
well?
from what, Crowded House?
Crowded House,
Yeah.
Split Ends.
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, as much as we'd like to get out and see all these shows, it's tough, and we're trying to be, you know, up and coming, successful, you know, rock and roll band. It's tough. It's tough to get everyone out, and you know, I'll go to one here and there. He'll go to one here and there. But you know, we just try and stay busy with our stuff. So
Yeah, and you guys have played for some really big names recently, like Dawkins and
yep.
is it Striper? Or?
Have I gone to
No, the last one we did was House of Blues with Steel Panther.
Oh.
And that was amazing.
Unbelievable show.
You know, we just did Buck Cherry. I think we played with Buck Cherry twice in the past year. We just opened for Puddle of Mud. That was at the Palladium. Yeah, we've been fortunate to get some decent exposure with some awesome venues and awesome bands. So, you know, I tell the guys we just got to keep at it, and hopefully we'll be on the road soon as far as touring and stuff like that.
We've got to go on the road with Airborne. We opened for Airborne.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
if those guys, you know, they're still an up-and-comer, them and us on a package.
Yeah.
Just getting it out there.
You're right.
I'd be all right with that.
I think that'd be fun.
Uncle Lemmy too.
That's right.
Motorhead is a very, very big band in my world. So if you hear me say Uncle Lemmy, I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Well, you know we can't tour with him, right?
I know that.
Just wanna make sure, just
But
wanna
we
make sure
were
you know.
talking about Airborne, and Airborne was actually one of his.
He's like protege.
No, he brought Airborne.
He brought
got there. He brought them with him on a tour. And was like, people got to see Airborne, and they were, and to the point where they were Uncle Lemmy certified. To the point where he was like, "You guys mind if I cameo in your video?"
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
came
Driving
in the
the
video,
Driving the
driving the trailer truck. So
Yeah.
it was like, and I mean that guy's rock and roll royalty.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Well, you never know who's going to see you. I mean, Gene Simmons discovered Anthrax of all things. It's just like you never really know when it's going to happen. You just need to be playing to everybody
As much
every
as
time
you
you get
can,
on
yeah.
stage, and that's you can't defeat the purpose of being there all the time in the moment, as big as you can possibly be.
Right.
And whether it's playing to 20 people or 2,000 people, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
It
just come
shows
natural.
everything.
Yeah.
Just come natural.
Yeah.
If you're trying to push something, then it should just come natural. I mean, just like when you hop
Yeah.
up there, you just plug it in and go.
Do your best.
Right.
Show.
Yeah, and we're constantly working hard with everything that is involved with being in a rock band that's gonna, you know, put their stamp or their mark in rock and roll history, you know. So we're constantly challenging each other with writing better songs, playing better shows, just giving it 110, you know. In big shows that we've had, those type of opportunities, we don't take them for granted because you never know, you know. We could never get offered one again, or we could get offered, you know, 200 of them. So we just gotta keep proving our point and you know, hopefully gaining fans along the way. You know, so that's all we can really do.
I think you guys are doing the right thing.
We hope
so
so.
far,
Thank you.
so
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are, you know, getting a lot of exposure and your fan base is growing. So
No better feeling than opening up a show that you were probably going to go to.
Yeah, right. And that's happened a bunch.
And it has happened.
More than a few
There's
times.
been shows that we've already purchased tickets to, and then we got offered to open the gig. So it's like, I was going anyway. I guess I'll show up and play guitar. You know. So yeah, that's always fun.
yeah, I just saw Slash recently, and they had a local band open. I was like, man, I wish Bad Marriage was opening for
Yeah,
Slash.
well,
That would've been awesome.
I think that was actually the Rumble winner, wasn't that the BCN
yeah, I
Rumble
mean,
winner?
I don't know.
Was it Rumble
I don't know,
winner?
but I was
think
at
that
that-
was part of the package though, like if you want.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you
Oh,
want
That's
was
cool.
it that?
I
Okay.
believe something like that.
Yeah.
But
But anyway,
I
that
heard
was a
they
great
did
show.
good job.
Yeah.
I heard they did a good job. So.
Yeah.
As long as you represent Boston, that's all that matters,
Right.
you know? Did I say it right, Boston? World Series tomorrow.
That's it.
Well, is there anything else that you want to promote at the moment? Or anything?
I mean, we're just
people should
working.
look out for?
We're just working on our album, and hopefully it's going to be out early in 2019. You know, it's looking that way. We have some awesome songs that we're all proud of, and that's it. Once you know, we have high hopes for that, and once that drops, is that the term the kids say these days? Once the album drops, then you know, there's no rules and no limits for us. The sky is the limit. So,
K-pop is taking over the nation.
You know,
We'll
so-
fight that.
BTS.
No matter, you know.
so you know, we're excited about the album, and we'll just go from there.
And Diablo is the next song. For
That's
it? Okay.
that's the song we just shot a video for, Diablo. That will be on the album, and yeah, we're excited about that song. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make a point that all the opportunities that we've been getting is basically from the support of our fans. And I mean, you know, people yell loud enough, people that actually run the show hear of you, you know what I mean? So I mean, we gotta all thank everybody supporting us, because I mean, it's clear across the country now, and we're coming to you, believe me.
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna get
coming
this
for
album
you.
done, and we're coming for you.
That's right.
And you better show up, because the new wave of classic, whatever. Bad Marriage coming to a town near you.
Ian Haggerty, everybody.
But thank you so
Love
much. This
energy.
was cool, and we were looking forward to the interview. So.
Yeah, thank you for coming down here.
Definitely. And I want to ask you about your guitar here.
Oh, this guitar.
That little thing?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Gibson guy, and
Give that man some space.
I'll be going
no,
on
no,
tape.
no. It's just a Gibson Les Paul classic. It's one of a few that I own, and this is my most recent purchase, and it's like my child.
It's called the Heartbreaker.
That's right. I'm gonna call it the Heartbreaker. There you go.
He literally broke
That's a
my
private. That's a private story, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll call it the Heartbreaker, and yeah, it's my child.
Very cool.